Yes, she had never heard of Earthworm until she got her paycheck and went into the red carpet. Hardy ha ha ha. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Today is going to be one of those deep breaths. I really have to say this BS again, but I will also just say that I know for those of you who've been following my podcast for a while, or you've been in this space for a while, this is a broken record. But remember, there are people who are new to this space. They're coming in, or they've only been given information from the tabloids, and maybe they're hearing the other side for the first time. So please just do bear that in mind if you have been in this space for a while. I do apologize. You know, I remember the first time that I came across the Sussex Squad podcast, Tina and Michelle. I was totally blind to a lot of things. I mean, I wouldn't say that I believed the tabloids because I wasn't really following Harry and Meghan at the very beginning of the relationship. But I was just unaware of the rot. So I have to make space for people. Also, all right, who's here? Who's on time for class? See if I can spot any names that I maybe haven't seen for a while or don't always see. Let's see. Hello to all the usuals also. Corey. You look new. I've never seen you before. Where are you logging in from? UK, the States? Thank you, V. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Those of you that are observing it. Enjoy your turkeys, vegan bean rolls, or whatever it is that you're having. Oh, thank you so much, V, for the super sticker. Where are you listening in from, V? Thank you, all of the mods and Church Nelly, as always, for posting links. Yes, do go and support Highbrow Hippie if your bank accounts can make room for it. It is a luxury brand, but you can see that it's quality stuff. So we support quality, and yes, if you would like some new high-end luxury stuff for your hair, go check them out. I think they also do some other lifestyle stuff on their website also. And if you're in the Cali area and you've actually been to Highbrow Hippie, then please do let us know. What was your experience like? Let us know. You just know the Daily Fail are going to send some janky tabloid writer with her split ends to go and fly all the way to California to get her hair done. I feel like everybody at that hair salon needs to have like a book with the faces of all the UK tabloid writers and people who aren't allowed in. You know, Camilla wants a protein treatment for her split ends. Don't let her in. Kat Harlem, member for 28 months. That is over 2 years. Thank you so much. You're much appreciated, Kat Harlem. Yes, you put alive. Happy to have you here. All right, that's enough of the welcomes. Let's get into it. First and foremost, I just wanted to circle back to something I mentioned in the previous podcast. Now, I actually did a whole podcast on this particular issue of this courtier, the man that Harry called the Wasp, allegedly, because we don't know for sure, stepping down. I actually deleted that podcast because the sound was all over the place. I do apologize. I'm at the mercy of wherever I am with the internet. But that podcast was so bad that I just decided to delete it. So I just wanted to circle back because A, because I had to delete it, but B, because there were things that people mentioned in the comments that I had not addressed. And sometimes there are just so many things happening in this space that you do naturally forget things. And so, of course, just recently, we found out that Harry is going to get access to the emails between the palace staff and other senior members of the royal family and the tabloids. So it's rather interesting. And again, we don't know if this is true, but it is rather interesting that the man that Harry called the Wasp, one of the courtiers, is allegedly stepping down right after we hear about this. Because you know that he's probably one of the people that was copied in those emails. So we'll keep an eye on this. These people love their positions, they love the status it gives them, so they don't usually just step down. And because they usually know a lot and have been in the fold for a long time, it's not often that they also just away. So I'm wondering if this is true, if this is a way of having him slither off silently before ish hits the fan. January cannot come fast enough because you just know we're going to find out a lot of things. Geez, I mean, we are like up to the knees in lawsuits. We've got the 2025 lawsuit with NGN and now the Daily Fowl one in 2026. That's that. Now, anyone who's doubting, is Anne going to be around for a while? I promise that I want to stay here to at least see justice be done and have the hammer come down on both NGN and their papers and the Daily Fowl. So you can be absolutely guaranteed that Anne is going to be here at least until the end of 2026 and probably beyond. That lawsuit is, I feel like the Daily Fowl lawsuit is going to be even more vicious than the NGN one. Even more vicious because Rothermere is pissed that Meghan won her privacy lawsuit. He actually met with Camilla. For those of you who don't remember, he met with her. Well, they met at an event. He was there about a week later. And they were there kissing each other on the cheek. And you can bet that they probably had words about Meghan. Because Jeremy Clarkson was at lunch with Camilla just the day before he dropped that disgusting article about her. Camilla is in bed with all of them. I just want to know what exactly is it, access status that they're getting from defending Camilla? Or not even defending her, not at all. Passively defending her. Anyway, on to something a little bit more positive. It was the 7th anniversary of Harry and Meghan announcing their engagement. 7 years. Incredible. I sometimes wish that I was I absolutely wish that I knew about Meghan before she married into the Unroyal Mafia. But I wish I'd started following this a lot earlier. It's only when things started to get really nasty in the press that I started looking for answers and accidentally found the Squad podcast. But I feel like this time, it was still a relatively light-hearted time. And then everything just got messy as hell. But beautiful pictures, nice to reminisce, iconic photos. And it was just the vision of modernity in this very archaic, old-fashioned institution. Right, little comments, and then we will carry on. Hey, Cinderella, nice to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, Lottie, Camilla is surely a piece of work. All right, let's get on to it. For the last time, for the fools who choose not to believe what their eyes can see, only what their egos and hatred want them to see. No, Harry and Meghan are not separating or divorcing. So there was this New York Post article that was going around. And it was posted on Twitter also. And it went super viral. It said, Meghan Markle releases statement after solo Thanksgiving appearance amid professional separation from Prince Harry. Now, before I say anything, does anybody know any couple, any normal couple who is not professionally separated? How many couples do you know go to work together, work at the same place? Mind you, this couple right here owns a company together. but they still do separate engagements. The New York Post, by the way, is a Murdoch ragmag. So this isn't surprising at all. Now, this was community noted. There has been no statement about a professional separation from anyone. The whole professional separation thing is coming about because Harry and Meghan have been doing separate engagements. As if it's so unusual that two grown adults would be doing separate work engagements. They're not attached to the hip because they're married or a public, both public figures. And all this, while nobody is asking about the fact that William and Kate have been doing mostly separate engagements. And I'm going to get into that in a bit. And then you have the incels of the internet, the bro dudes who listen to these broadcasters and their chicken shop barbershop sermons online, posting things like this. He sacrificed additional for this. And to that I ask, what wealth? He got an inheritance from Diana, which he had to wait until quite recently, actually, to get. They kept him on a pennies and peanuts all this time so that he wouldn't overshadow William. This is a picture of the cottage, the inside, because from the outside it looks very glamorous. This is what it looked like from the inside. Everybody who is listening to me right now, or at least I would say 95% of you listening to me right now, who is, even if you're just on an average wage, your house was probably better than Harry's cottage. I mean, there's not even a wardrobe in here. Meghan could barely stand. Where is the picture now? Oh gosh. Oh yeah, here we go. Meghan could barely stand in the doorway. The kitchen is tiny. I've seen student accommodation hostels that look better than this. So yeah, he was a prince in this royal institution. He was living like Cinderella in the basement. They lied. It was all an illusion and a lie. They lied.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied. It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied. It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
It was all a lie. Because they could not have Diana's son and Diana's legacy continuing on through Harry. They saw that bright, shining light in him, and they had to keep him on a short leash. And that's why Harry was out here being the bargain hunt heir, shopping at discount stores, carrying his bags around his items around in black bags, holes in his shoe. That is wild. When I see Edward walking around in suits that are like 4 times bigger than him, not even fitted. Sophie looking like she went through the discount bin. They keep them on a short leash because nobody can overshadow the heir and the king. They put their egos instead of what's good for continuing the institution first. And then the incels of the internet who want to believe so badly that Meghan is this Jezebel, that Meghan is this all-controlling dragon lady, want to continue to reinforce this narrative about Harry sacrificing. I mean, what has Harry sacrificed? He doesn't have to go to dinners with the Randy Andy uncle who was friends with Epstein. He doesn't have to sit in like a teeny cottage anymore. He's living in a multi-million-dollar mansion in California, in the sunshine, in better weather, better food, Meghan's properly spiced chicken and organic waffles, a beautiful wife, a beautiful home, great friends, polo on the Saturday, tennis on the Sunday, earning his own money, not beholden to the British taxpayer. I say he's gained everything and not lost much else by leaving the institution. He's lost his family, but I mean, now we know about his family. He's better off having left them, knowing what we now know. Because really, who wants to be thrown on the floor and then have, you know, your back almost broken by a dog bowl by your own brother? I do feel that this is deflection because we know which royal couple is having the real marriage issues here. Your own eyes if you don't see it. And no, I'm not just being selective with these two pictures. I could find you hundreds of pictures of William and Kate like this, going back years. Going back years. I could find you videos. Maybe I should do a whole podcast, like a compilation podcast. I get all the pictures, all the videos, so that no one's saying that I'm cherry picking. You are betraying what your own eyes are seeing just because you want to hate Meghan, or you ridiculous incels. There's this one. Where are we now? Gosh, sorry, folks. I think maybe it didn't load. Oh yeah, this one. This particular incel who tweeted this. I believe he actually went viral some time ago for coming on the internet and saying that his wife was not the most beautiful woman in the world. I don't know if it was actually his wife or his girlfriend. Anyway, I hope that woman has dumped him. So desperate to become the next Andrew Tate. Well, given Andrew Tate's fate coming very soon, I hope they all go the same way. Careful what you wish for. Careful what you want to become. So he posted this. Simps always perish. Simps is internet chatter that deranged males have come up with to make fun of any man who does not hate women, who cherish the women in their lives, who actually make an effort, who don't disrespect women. Simps always perish. The foolish Prince Harry, who abandoned his crown, family, and country for a woman, is now facing divorce. The woman, a divorcee B-list actress, Meghan Markle, manipulated this foolish prince to abandon everything. Now she's leaving him. To allow her, a woman will change you to whom she can no longer love and then blame you for it. A woman will manipulate you until you lose yourself, then turn it around on you. The amount of likes, saves, responses from some other well-known incels on these internet streets were pathetic. When I tell you, this is how men hurt and destroy other men. A couple that, like this, that are clearly so unified in their purpose. Harry upholds his wife, respects her, defends her. That is threatening to them because they are just so misguided and misled. So drowning in their misogyny. And I also element to this where males like this, they know that Meghan was a very, very accomplished woman before she ever married into this unroyal mafia. And I think that also pains them because the fool who posted this, the most successful he's ever been, is an internet misogynist. And there were many in the responses. I don't know how these people are going to cope when the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth becomes obvious, because the truth is out there for anybody who wants to do a bit of basic research and reading. But I don't know how these people are going to cope when the actual truth comes out. What happens whenever it's going to be, William and Kate announce their separation? You're going to try and make it Harry and Meghan's fault? Because it's Harry and Meghan you want to separate and divorce. What are they going to do? Time comes when Charles lays to rest. And then you just know the same way, well, it's only been a few years since Betty died now, the same way everything started spilling out and going wayward after Betty died. That's the same thing that's going to happen after Charles goes, times 10, let me tell you, times 10. When you've got Camilla now by herself, wanting to sit on that throne and no one else to share it with, William, who's been waiting for his term, Kate, if she hasn't already been thrown to the wolves before that, and her mother and the Middletons, miserable and raging. When all of that comes out, what are people like this? What are they going to do? I have never wanted two people who I don't know, multi-billionaires, more than I want Harry and Meghan to be multi-billionaires. I'm going to throw away my socialist card. I hope Harry and Meghan become multi-billionaires and live happily ever after and buy an even bigger house just to shut people like this up. Because remember, this isn't actually just about Harry and Meghan. These type of things are a projection of how certain people operate in society in general. Their hatred towards Meghan as a biracial woman with a black mother who came into this institution, said, I know my worth, and walked out. And has a husband who rides and would die for her and defends her. So one more time, for the fools in the back. American millionaire feminist saved the prince, the Cinderella, in his basement cottage and pulled him away to glory in California. That is the truth. Harry already had a lot by himself going, but he did not have the Hollywood star power that Meghan brought in. Because I don't believe for a second, let's just say, Harry had, married an English rose. I don't believe that Tyler Perry would have been out here with his private jet. Oprah would have been given, a platform. Beyonce defending them at the Brits, all of this stuff. I don't believe any of that would have happened. Meghan was the perfect woman to come into his life. And everything that he had and everything that she had, you put that together and it just amplified their star power. They amplified. It just annoys me that you have a woman as accomplished as Meghan, a woman of color, and they want to make it seem like she had nothing. And that somehow by being with her, Harry has lost everything. Look at the difference in accomplishments between Meghan and Kate. There's no comparison. Anyway, I've rambled for a bit. Let me go through your comments and then we'll get on to the next thing. Oh. Hi, if you joined us. 500 of you in the chat, hit that thumbs up button, please. DB, you said, Meghan is genuine and the same warm, loving, and kind person she was before marriage. The only difference after marriage is she now knows her own strength. Yes. But she always, why she said, sorry, I'm getting out of here. It is not worth giving up your peace for any amount of gold or diamonds, especially when them gold and diamonds were stolen anyway. Go and protect your peace. I truly believe that Meghan was brought into Harry's orbit to save him. She wasn't, the universe, God did not place her there to become a royal. That wasn't the destiny. The destiny was to get Harry out. It was. I don't believe that it was ever meant to be. The people in that institution, in that unroyal mafia, are too jealous. They're too up in their egos. They are too power hungry. It was never meant to be that Harry and Meghan were meant to live after in this crazy institution. There was going to be no happily ever after. The happily ever after has come because they've left. They escaped the cage in the castle tower. Yes, Black Queen, they are independent of each other. They don't need to be clingy. They have things going together and they have things going separately. And they uplift each other. And he uplifts her. That's a couple that wins. Idiots like these incels who are posting like this, they really have nothing going for them themselves. And I think the image of a woman like Meghan, self-made, strong, it threatens them for some reason. Smart men like Harry look at women like Meghan and they go, yep, she's the one. We're going to build together. That's what a smart man does when he sees a beautiful woman. He looks at her and he goes, I'm going to build with her. That's who's going to be my wife. Yeah, let me bring her the pink and white peonies on the second date. Let her know she's the one. That's what a smart man does. He doesn't look at a successful, intelligent woman as a threat. He sees someone who he's going to build with. And all these incels on the internet, all they're doing is sabotaging other men. Wanda, you said Harry had a room he couldn't stand up straight in and holes in his shoes. Yeah, he upgraded. Ever heard the song Upgrade You by Beyonce? Literally. This is the living, breathing version of that song. Yeah, only the heirs have all the money. And why? When that money comes to, by some reports, $500 million a year. So how can only the heirs have the money? Crazy behavior. Because it's a cult. That's what cults do. They cut off your resources and cut you off from other people. From the time William and Kate got married, I don't think I've ever seen Kate with any girlfriends. But I've seen William with his friends all the time. In fact, William used to go hunting with one of his exes even after he got married. Interesting that. But you want to be looking for any signs of any little thing when it comes to Harry and Meghan. You're going to find nothing. Sorry to disappoint you all. I am sorry to disappoint you. I just want to breeze through your comments before we move on. Dorothy, you said the only family members he lost are the ones who were never family from the beginning. Unfortunately, I mean, when you have an institution like this and what it was built on, what it stands on, you know, sharing blood with someone, that's just your genetics and your DNA. Family is so much more than that. So much more. The relationship Harry and Meghan have with Nacho and his family, that's family, and they're not even blood related. Family are people who are there for you. They support you. They love you. It's not just about you being related by blood and DNA. Very nice. Those men are the ones who end up alone and in a care home. Please tell it to them. Because they keep telling us we're going to end up alone as cat ladies. When you talk to any of your aunties who's actually works in a care home, you see who ends up alone. Women are much better in general at creating a wider net of relationships outside of marriage and children because of the way that we connect with our communities. We're just generally better at it. Jane Garcia, we know God was and is still blessing and covering Harry, Meghan, and Shutter Island can't stop it. Indeed. Eyebrow hippie and having tantrums. Yes, Janita. Harry's not sitting online attacking women. Never has been. Too busy building Invictus, building his legacy, building something, even as a royal. And that's what you should be doing as a man, building something. Not online, behaving like a tater tot. Yeah, Black Light. Who cares if they do separate engagements? I mean, if they can both do separate stuff, well, you're covering more ground. Okay. Next thing, power struggles. Apparently, surprised me. What does surprise me is that US Weekly are reporting on it. Okay, let's have a read of these. Give me a sec, folks. I have so many links and so many things to get through. Sometimes I lose them. Somebody actually said the other day, "Oh, why do I think that the tabloids are starting to report more on things like this?" I've been saying for a very long time on this podcast that when the tabloids figure out that giving us the real juice is going to give them more money than protecting the royals, they will start writing things like this. That's the first thing. Secondly, they are obviously still scared of lawyers. So there needs to be like some kind of Watergate moment where something happens that the threat of lawyers just doesn't become threatening anymore. I feel like we kind of halfway got there with the Frankenstein photo. And then there'll be something else that comes that really just bursts the dams open. So right now there is still that fear also of lawyers. So I feel like they're kind of testing the waters right now. But you are seeing it, even in the tabloid press. Because at the end of the day, these people know exactly what is going on. They know. They're just gagged at the moment. Super injunctioned and all. Anyway, this is from Celebrity. Kaiser said, "This is US Weekly's new cover story, inside the power struggle between Charles and William. Finally, more focus on how dysfunctional this relationship is between the king and heir. I tend to believe Charles and William only agree on one thing. Neither of them wants Prince Harry around, and they both know how badly the Sussexit damaged the monarchy long term. Beyond that, Charles and William are at each other's throats constantly. Charles and Camilla regularly outmaneuver William, and William absolutely refuses to get off his lazy double snakes and step up into the kind of air work which Charles did for decades, which he was in Cape Town. When he was in Cape Town this month, Prince William gave several interviews about how he will do everything differently when he's king, and those interviews did not go over well anywhere. There's also been a lot of talk about the real state of Charles's health and how quickly William might find himself on the throne. All of this is part of US Weekly's cover story, and here are some highlights. So first of all, the dynamics between Charles and William have shifted. William, 42, did an admirable job of keeping calm and carrying on, and Charles, 76, is especially grateful, is he now? In many ways, the king and his heir are closer than ever, but their relationship has also become significantly more complicated as tension over William's approaching succession builds. The dynamics has shifted, one source shares in the latest issue of Us Weekly. Charles has wanted to be the monarch for decades. I mean, hasn't he just? The longest internship history has ever known. Even though he's battling cancer, he's not letting that get in the way of his desire to be successful on the throne or a dynamic leader. William, meanwhile, is preparing behind the scenes for when his ascension happens. Like his father, he takes being a success in the royal role very seriously. There are already plans for Charles's funeral. The palace sprung into action after Charles's cancer diagnosis, noting that advisors' plans for William have been discussed with the future king. William and his team have agreed on what they will focus on at the start of his reign and funeral plans for his father. The third source agrees there is some tiptoeing around plans for succession directly with Charles. He does not feel comfortable speaking about it at length. So nothing more than is needed is brought up to him, says the source. Well, I mean, I can assume it's kind of awkward being like, listen, when you're dead, yeah. Listen, when you're dead, yeah. This is what I want for my crowning party. What would you like on your coffin, sir? Gold or silver plated, sir? I mean, yeah, I can imagine that's a kind of awkward conversation that nobody in no other family has to have. Because you literally have a situation where your own family members are waiting for you to die. Jeez. To be a fly on the wall when these people sit down and have these types of conversations. It also makes you wonder about the state of Charles's health, because there seems to be some desperation with these conversations. Because, I mean, Charles is what, in his 70s, right? So with decent health, I mean, the Queen lived well into her 90s. He could live well into his 90s too. But it just makes you wonder, well, is his health in a much worse state then than what they're telling us? According to another source, William is ready to bring new, younger energy to the crowd. Does this photo look like new, younger energy to you? Does this say new, young energy to you? Does this say new, young energy to you? Modern times call for a modern monarchy, and William has been active in getting that together. How so? He will take on fewer patronages, but focus on the issues most important to him and Kate, like the environment, mental health, and homelessness. The king had a traditional approach to patronages, accumulating over 500 of them. And what did those 500 get? In contrast, William is determined, as he sees it, to make a real difference and to do this in a way that will give him contemporary appeal. You know, let me just go back for a second. They said the king had a traditional approach to patronages, accumulating over 500 of them. How do you give 500 organizations your time and attention? It's not possible. Just having your name attached is not enough. And somebody actually did a rather detailed report on why it's not enough. A lot of the patronages don't get the money and support that they need to grow and sustain. In fact, many of Kate's have actually shut down. There was one that called her out on a live Zoom call because she hadn't visited for, what was it, 8 years or something? Anyway, the article goes on to say, the second source also claims that there's some jealousy between Charles and William over the younger royals' popularity. Popularity which is dwindling and waning, by the way. The current Prince of Wales is often compared to his mother, the late Princess Diana, who was famously called the People's Princess. I would say Harry is more referred to as the People's Prince, not William. When William is publicly held for his accomplishments, his beloved mom usually gets the credit. The source says that while Charles and William are close, they are rivals when it comes to work, noting that Charles' envy is similar to how while the first source insists Charles doesn't feel sidelined and is more proud than anything, the monarch does feel the public anticipation for William's future role. Okay, so this goes on quite a bit, so I don't want to read the whole thing, but I'll just read the conclusion from Kaiser. She says, interesting that someone finally admits that there's tension between Camilla and Kate, because the article also mentioned this about Camilla's role in in the monarchy and how there's tensions between her and Kate, which there would be because, I mean, there's the two senior royal women. Kate still has her stands, a lot more so than Camilla does, let's be honest. Kate actually has stands. I don't think Camilla has stands. The tension is Camilla can dog walk Kate at any moment, and Kate knows that. Seemingly been banned from wearing tiaras. That's why Kate is seemingly being phased out, although I think that's more to do with William and Charles. As for the tension between king and heir, two toxic, jealous, short-sighted, petty, problematic men, I do think Charles is doing poorly, but I also think William wants everyone to believe that he'll be king within the next year. William only wants power to lord over his brother, though. William is absolutely too stupid and lazy to understand any part of how his life will dramatically change. Exactly. Exactly. Because once he is king, then the spotlight is really on him. And with that spotlight, it's going to come great scrutiny that I don't believe William is ready for at all. He's barely managing now. When he's king, I don't know how he's going to cope. I mean, you can't be swaying around like a flag when you're king. You've got to stand up straight. Okay, let me just... I'm going to go to my A-tiered, and I just want to say thank yous to Black Queen. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. We're on the right side of morality and humanity. Never doubt that good will always triumph over evil in the long run. Indeed. And let me just say, guys, obviously, I am a massive fan of Harry and Meghan. And that's why I come out here and I stan every single day. But I'm also a British citizen that cares deeply about us having accountability in the press. And the fact that, you know, Harry's case could perhaps light, you know, a spark that creates a fire. I'm also very deeply passionate about that. I'm also a child of the Commonwealth that wants to see some accountability in that regard also. So I'm not just a Harry and Meghan stan. There's other things about, and yes, you're right, Black Queen, we are on the right side of morality. Thank you so much. Light side, why? I love you so much, girl. Thank you so much. We'll talk later. Trina D, thank you for the 3 copies. Happy holidays to you. And R.R. Carter, as always, for your support. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. I just wanted to stop for a sec and say thank you to everyone. And oh, is Rahini in the chat? Is Rahini in the chat yet? Where's Rahini? Do you want to come up and talk? You are not late. Fashionably on time. Let me. I'm gonna post this in the chat. For do you know what? I don't even think I've got the picture yet. Rahini, I'm wearing your socks. The socks that Rahini needs for me. Rahini, if you come up and start talking, maybe I can just have a moment to upload the picture so everyone can see your amazing socks and the keychain that you made me. I posted the link. Please do come up. Let's have a chat, Rahini. Lightside, if you want to come up as well, feel free. Joy, you said, Duchess Meghan came in that rotten royal family and taught these fools fashion. Yes. Oh, these people were out here in some Mary Poppins cosplay. Jesus. Maybe I'll do like a podcast, the most ridiculous royal outfits you've ever seen. DB, Harry and Meghan are wise not to respond to this rumor. They would never get any work done because the tabloids lie on them all day. Yes, a couple of people have messaged me and said, "Oh, I think that Harry and Meghan should sue for this particular rumor about them being separated." And you know what? I say with this one, I disagree. I would say don't sue over this one because I think there's something sweeter about when the truth comes out and it just hits the fools in the faces, like a pie to the face. After you've done being clowns all this time, I think there's something that's going to be so much more sweeter about that. And also, if Harry and Meghan do pursue a legal action for something like this, it takes attention away from the other bigger, more important legal battles. And it also takes attention away from the other unroyals. Because they would love a distraction like that. all the attention is on them right now, and for all the wrong reasons. So let's not sue for the little things. Let's take on the big battles. And so far, Harry and Meghan have picked their battles wisely, and they have won. Yeah, listen, Diana reached down from heaven and plucked our dear Meghan, placed her into Harry's life. Meghan was truly destined. And then you come out today with your Scotch bonnet, Scotch bonnet mouth, girl. Listen, I wish I could show you my plate of Scotch bonnet chicken wings that I actually cooked yesterday. I'm not even kidding. So it's just so hilarious that you would say that, because yes, I have literally been eating Scotch bonnet chicken wings. So you're not lying when you say that. Light side, you're in the chat, but there's something wrong with your device. So maybe just disconnect and then reconnect. It's saying device not connected. Rahini, are you coming up, or are you at work, Rahini? Yes, Rahini, the socks fit. They absolutely fit, and they're so comfortable. I'm going to send you a picture of me wearing the socks. I appreciate you so much. Let's see. Okay. I think I've gotten through so many of your comments. Yes, Blacklight. The tabloids smell blood in the water, and the sharks are starting to circle. Yeah, those of us who remember the Diana years, you can see the pattern. These people are original with nothing. V, you said if the royals were not so stupid, they would have seen this coming. Indeed. Let me post the link again. If Lightside or Rahini, if you're having trouble getting into the chat. DB, you said, I think Kate is purposely keeping a distance from Camilla. I mean, I still find it incredibly shady that Kate and Charles were supposed to be in that hospital at the same time. William only saw her once for 15 minutes. Camilla, I think she went 3 times, and not once when she came out or spoke to the media did she say, oh, I also saw Kate and Kate is doing fine as well. No mention of Kate at all. They were in the same hospital. The way that just slid over so many people's heads. Listen, Camilla is playing a game, y'all. She's been playing the game so long. She's the game master at this point. I mean, look at that face. Give me nightmares if I had to see that every day. Charles, it doesn't give him nightmares. Gives him I won't even say it out loud. It gives him something good because he chased it and married it. So it does something for Charles. Like William literally asking every single day, is he dead yet? Imagine. I mean, I can't even begin to fathom Meghan and her sweet soul in this institution. Never Meghan writes a book, let me tell you. I will be the first person outside of that bookstore. I won't even take it home. I will go and sit. You know, there's usually like a little sit down area in the bookstore. I'm gonna grab that book and start reading straight away. I'm going to the last 10 chapters. That's usually when it gets juicy. Oh yeah. Whenever Meghan decides to write a book, you just know it's gonna be gonna be some juice in there. Like I said, there's still something wrong with your there's still something wrong with your device, hon. Heather, I hope that William doesn't become king anytime soon. He will go crazy with power. I think he will just go crazy. So crazy that he won't be able to grab any power because they will have to muzzle him. Okay, so interesting from Celeb Bitchy. There is going to be a state ceremony, but Kate apparently isn't going to be going to the state dinner. Now, it was rather interesting that she didn't come to the last ceremony that they had, because we know that Kate will not miss a chance to wear a tiara, and I do think that is partly Camilla's doing, but also I genuinely believe that they are phasing her out. I genuinely believe that they are. Because we've been seeing signs of it for some time. You remember at one of the last state functions that Kate appeared at, they literally put her behind a candelabra. I remember at these things, nothing gets done by accident. Like the optics are always very deliberate. And they would have set up the whole place to make sure that photographers got their pictures. And there you have Kate behind a whole ornament. Anyway, this from Celebrity. Last week, there was a sudden announcement from Buckingham Palace. The day of the palace's big diplomatic reception, one of the few annual tiara events left on the royal calendar, the palace announced that King Charles and Queen Camilla and Prince William would be the only royals in attendance. It was the palace publicly benching Princess Kate. The palace didn't even offer some excuse why Kate wasn't attending the reception. She's attended for years. I have my theories, of course, but I suspect that William, Camilla, and Charles are all in agreement that Kate is no longer allowed to preen and grunt in a tiara any longer. Speaking of, the palace is preparing for a big state visit next week. The Emir of Qatar will make a state visit on Tuesday, December 3rd. While Kate has been announced for the welcome ceremony, Old Waity is not welcome to the state dinner. Yikes. It's also going to be interesting to see what she wears. Whether or not she actually wears the tiara, and also what outfit she wears. Because these things, they tell you a lot. We'll come back and review. We will come back and review. So it's understood that Princess Kate, who announced in September that she completed chemotherapy treatment, will not be at the palace party. This is similar to last week's announcement that Kate would not attend the diplomatic reception. The palace is making a point to blank Kate and not give a reason for the public benching on record. Yeah, because they usually come up with something, like Camilla getting a chest infection. All of the royal reporters got the same information too, that Kate would not attend the state dinner, but she managed to get the consolation prize of going to the daytime ceremony instead. The last time she participated in the state event, she hiked up her skirt and flashed the South Korean delegation. Remember, that's when she was... What will she do for this welcome ceremony? Oh, we will be waiting. Okay, light side, I know you're just itching to get in. Come on in, girl. I'm gonna add you to the stage.
Good morning or good afternoon.
Hey, hey.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Okay, go for it.
Oh, wonderful. It's been a while. Imagine my surprise when I logged on and I saw that your live was going for about probably 19, 20 minutes. It has been so long. I don't even know if I congratulated you first and foremost on your book.
Thank you.
Yeah, the reflective reading in the book. I absolutely love it. Of course, you already know that, and I use it here and there. So I wanted to first and foremost say that I took it on my little trip with me and did some exercises, and I just every opportunity I get a chance, and someone comes up to me. I think they're caught by the color of the book and the cover. They're attracted by it, and then they start asking questions. Oh, what's this? And then I kind of go into the whole thing, and I'm like, it's really great for just people in general, but especially women and empowerment. I feel like I'm like a walking. Look, she did not pay me to see this. I just want to put that disclaimer out. But I'm always 100% for promoting good stuff that comes out of our community. The all of us, including the talented Rohini.
Yes.
has everyone seen I'm going off
Do you
on a
know what?
tangent here, but have they seen yet?
Well,
Like have
while we're talking, I will try and get the picture up.
okay, yeah. Look, Rahini needs to get her little shop going because she is
Yes,
so talented, so talented.
we need an Etsy shop for Rahini for sure.
Yeah, we definitely do. I mean, and there's so many people in the Sussex squad community in general. A lot of us are really talented, but I know that we're all about supporting each other and everything. And I mean, Rahina's personality can't lose with that combination, talent and personality, right? Um, but okay, so disclaimer, I missed the first bit. Like I said, first 20 minutes, I'm gonna go back and listen, but I came in hearing something about the tabloid press again starting up with their Harry and Meghan are separating or breaking up. Is that right? Can you hear me, Anne? Uh-oh. I hope she's not having any. Can you guys hear me in the chat? Because I could just keep talking until she comes
Mhm.
back. Can you hear me? Okay, Leg said
Or is
he
it me
can
that?
hear me. Yeah, can you hear me, Anne?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go on.
Okay, you went out for a little bit there. For a second, I couldn't hear
Mhm.
anything. But it looks like they can hear
Yeah,
me.
it's the New York Post, Rupert Murdoch posted this.
The okay, the New York Post. Oh, they're
Hmm.
still tabloid. Okay. Sorry. I was thinking about another New York press. Um I don't know, man. Like, look, you know how what I always say, right? Unless it comes from them, I don't believe it. You know,
Hmm.
and I I know you probably already touched on.
Ooh, like Died. I think you went there. You said I know you probably already touched on.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now. You said I know you probably already touched on, and then you went out. Go on.
Yeah, I know you probably already touched on um what was happening with Harry, his new case coming up in 2026.
Hmm.
um, and how things are going to get messy. Because I was listening to one of the podcasts that you fired off the last few days, and how things are going to get messy. And I think what we've seen in the past is that when things get messy, that usually means attacking Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan.
Hmm.
But we see so much of that um, kind of behavior coming from the other side when there's this distraction. But also, you know what's coming up? The holiday season, Christmas. And this is a time where I think annually, if I'm mistaken, let me know. The royal family typically kind of puts on a show and they kind of go out and show themselves to the people of the UK. It's like a traditional thing that I think they do. Sometimes they put on events. I think at one point Kate had put on she did a piano thing or whatever, and at another time they all dressed up and coordinated and showed up somewhere. You can tell I don't pay too much attention to them, but at the end of the day, like there's a combination of things going on, right? And I always say this. I know some of you guys can understand this. Whenever I don't see celebrity couples in the press, I am not someone that worries about them. The one thing I've learned over the years is that the less you see of these celebrity couples in the press, the happier, more balanced, um, more stable their relationships usually are. I
Yes.
am a person that tends to believe that sometimes when we see a lot of showy stuff, and this can be applied to regular life as well. When we see a lot of showy stuff coming from the celebrities, they show up to like these big events. They're all on each other. They're kissing for the cameras and everything. It seems a bit sometimes pretentious and act putting on a show for the cameras and the audience to give an impression that things are doing okay, right?
Hmm.
Now we can see in the other couple that I'm not going to name with them, it has been obvious over the last couple of years that maybe things aren't really as great because even just general cordiality and respect in public is missed on certain occasions to the point where there's a question mark in a lot of our heads with what is going on with them, or is there something going on with them, right? Are they angry at each other? Are they upset with each other? Are they not talking to each other? Are they separated? We see that for the other couple. But in most instances, the intimacy and connection that we see with Harry and Meghan in public seems so organic. And again,
Mhm.
maybe I could be wrong. I am biased. I will put that out there. But when I see them together, I see a couple that is themselves with each other. Um, and
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of that like over the top lovey-dovey stuff that goes on. And here's the thing. They have kids. They're taking care of their lives. They have stuff they do. The projects that they release every so often, what Polo's coming out, right? They're working
Mhm.
behind the scenes. They don't always have to be together to show for the audiences and the public that they're doing okay. I think that's a completely unnecessary requirement that has absolutely no weight on whether a couple is together or not, especially the fact that we've seen couples that are moving quietly and silently behind the scenes, which I think is what Harry and Meghan are doing. So unless it comes from their camp that something's going on, I don't believe any of this stuff. I think it's just tabloid trying again to do what they did with, I don't know if it was the Pope or someone else that they blame Meghan for whatever a couple weeks ago that she has no connections with. They keep making stuff up because they have nothing to hang on to. They have absolutely nothing to
Mhm.
hold on to. They want to think that Harry and Meghan are not happy because they've been wishing from before these two even got married that they would separate. They've
Yeah.
been trying so hard to get them to separate and break up. And when that didn't work, they try their darndest to wreck their marriage and their union. And let's not forget, they collectively have been the reason why she ultimately lost one of her babies,
Her
right?
babies. Yeah.
So we're not going to forget any of that. There's been a lot of pressure, and I want to say this just coming from a normal person that moves day to day in this world. You all know that we got a lot of stuff that we have on our shoulders. We have personal things that we deal with. Um, we have financial stuff that we deal with. We have family things that we deal with. We have health issues that we deal with. There's so many, there's not a shortage of issues and personal stuff that we as individuals have to deal with on a daily basis in this world because it's a broken world. There's a lot of stuff going on. Things are not fair, right? When you compound that on a couple, on an individual and a couple together, you stack all of that on them and continuously, not just privately but publicly, because got to remember, we don't even know the stuff that's going on behind the scenes that they're not telling us about. But when we see the stuff publicly
Mhm.
happening to them from the media, the constant attacks that they're getting, the lying, the blaming them for things that aren't really true, the attacks on partner companies, whether it's Netflix, whether it's Highbrow Hippie, whether it is Clever Blends. I don't know all the organizations. We have Megan's Line coming out with the orchard. I mean, whatever it is, they attack things without justification, without validity, and it is all out of anger and bitterness and unjustified reasoning, right? So that
Mhm.
is a lot. That is a lot for somebody to carry on a day-to-day basis. I imagine that with them being humans, they may even have days. I can see Megan sometimes like potentially even expressing just letting things go and just having a good cry, thinking about how everything is, not letting it like weigh her down too much. But as humans, it's normal to release that because it's you don't understand why it's happening, right? These people don't know you. They don't know how hard you're working. They don't know the positivity that you're trying to put out there. And they judge you just on a whim or just because they want to. And I think that's something that we can't forget, that they're humans on a regular day-to-day basis. They have families, and these people have been trying their darndest with the media to break them apart, when in reality, what I think and what I've always thought, and I think you also agree, is that there is more amiss and there are more issues going on the other side of the pond that were being told or shown, right? And I think I've spoken enough, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested to know what your thoughts are with some of that, because I just really think that this is a projection on what's going on with um, Kate and William, and whatever's happening with Charles right now and everything else in that family that we're just not seeing openly at this time.
Mm. First of all, you made some very good points. Before I respond, just want to say thank you to Lex. Thank you for the super chat. You said tabloids want the perception of separation. Harry and Meghan were together. Remembrance, bookstore opening, Harry's birthday, Tyler Perry's B-Day, tennis tours. Yes, of course, Tillman. Yeah, it's perception of separation because I think it fuels what I showed you earlier, these kind of like online click rage bait miserable people who just they want to see the failure and the humbling. I think of a woman like Meghan. I think that's something that they enjoy seeing, a woman like Meghan being humbled. They enjoy they have this idea of like the Jezebel. Every woman is a Jezebel. Bringing down a guy who was, really successful, and they want her to be that. They want her to be this Jezebel that just went in to get her bag and then leave. When in actual fact, honey, she had her bag and her freedom and everything else before she ever entered this rickety institution. So I think it's also that it's the misogyny, the arism, the everything, right?
Yeah,
And in response,
yeah.
I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
go on.
and no, but you brought up a really good point there. You said something that I actually never thought about. That when she went in and she wasn't that archetype. Can I say that? I miss archetypes.
Yeah.
When she went in there and she wasn't the archetype that they wanted her to be, the Jezebel archetype. Um, it completely demolished their whole perception. And some of us know what that is because we've experienced it, but it
Yeah.
completely demolished their whole perception of who she is. And I think as a result of that, because she didn't give them what they wanted her to give them, this person that was just there for money, that was had no substance whatsoever, it
Hmm.
almost made them angrier, right? Because what happens when
Yeah.
somebody do you know what happens when somebody comes at you really hard and attacks you, and they do it because they want a reaction out of you? You guys know what I'm talking about. There's
Hmm.
certain instances where people do things specifically to get you triggered because they want you to react, they want to see you get angry and upset. And when you don't give that to them, when you don't give them the satisfaction of seeing that reaction, it almost eats them alive from the inside out. And I think
Yeah.
based on what you're saying, that's this combination of that going on, and they can't figure out what to do with it because they're not winning.
Hmm. Hmm. Because I think they want to believe it so bad, and they want everybody else to believe it so bad that Meghan is just this monster. But it's just not the case. And now they don't know what to do. Because at one point, I mean, it's interesting that the rumors have gone back to, oh, they're separating. But hang on a minute, I thought that Harry was a hostage that couldn't leave.
Yeah, they want to think he's a hostage. But, and also like here's the other thing that that it's not being bought by the masses, the ones that carry the weight with the money. They, I imagine, wanted when you paint somebody as a horrible person, what happens in Hollywood? What generally happens to someone once they get marked as someone that has done bad to someone else, has been
They get
rude,
blackballed.
or exactly, they get blackballed. And that has not happened to Megan, right? None of her bag's been messed with. We see her
Mhm.
building franchises. We see her building her business. We see partnerships happening, and those partnerships in their own, whether it's behind the scenes that she's present, whether she's an investor, whether she's the face of them, we see these institutions thriving. They're doing well. And that is another touch point for them where they are probably upset because they're not
Mhm.
messing with her coins either, right?
No,
She's not.
The Meghan effect is strong.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not working. It's absolutely not working. Whatever they're trying to do to tear her down, um, it's not, it's just like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I rarely see this in Hollywood. I rarely see this, and I say Hollywood, not that she's like in acting or anything, but they're in essence they're kind of celebrity like, right? They're famous enough where people know them. So in the States here, they fit that mold of having certain kind of privileges and
Mhm.
access to the media.
Yeah.
We see them in papers and stuff like that. But in general, I have rarely ever seen individuals that get attacked as much as she does. Even Harry now. with Invictus and everything, when people saying like, I don't know, gosh, if you guys went on the Polo premiere Netflix trailer and read some of those comments, you know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
I don't normally see celebs or celeb-like individuals get attacked like this without it having some kind of residual effect on either their partnerships or something else, because people, organizations with a name don't usually like to associate with someone like that. So what it tells me is that these organizations are very much in the know. They understand her value, they understand what's real and
yeah.
what isn't, and they're not buying it.
Yeah, because the value keeps being shown. You've seen it with Clever Blends, a brand that really no one knew. Now in almost 500 Target stores, Whole Foods, Highbrow Hippie. They've got months worth of orders in a few days. Everything she touches just turns to gold. So I think at the end of the day, these companies, they're looking at their bottom line and they're going, well, if we're associated with Mega and our bottom line is going up. I mean, I think wasn't there a jeans company that had to like expand their factory or something just to keep up with the demand?
Right.
So
All her
they're
stuff
looking
sells
at their
out.
bottom line. Yeah. Sorry, what did
Yeah,
you
I
say?
apologize. Go ahead. No, go ahead and finish. I apologize. I was just adding that everything that she wears sells out. We can't
Yeah, so
find it.
they're looking at the money. They're thinking with sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
they're business people. Yeah.
whoever it is, they're not thinking with any sense at all. And it's just like, to be honest, there's an element to all of this that it's just so weird. It's just so weird the way in which people seem to want Meghan humbled. It's just I don't even know how to put into words.
It's nefarious is what it is. And I'm not using that term generally, but it's wanting to see someone ah when I honestly feel that when you yourself have some issues with some part of your life, it may not be every part, but when it's more a reflection of them, of who they are internally and their unhappiness projected onto someone else and wanting to see someone else hurt or break down and feel the pain that they are feeling. That way they are leveled with them. They bring them down to their level, right? When they do that. I feel like it's partially a desire to do that and to feel like there's a win somehow in hurting someone else and making them know what pain they may be unconsciously or subconsciously, or whether it's
Mhm.
make believe going through as well. But I want to read something real quick because I know you're gonna talk about them socks on the screen in a second. But
Go ahead.
legs said something really poignant in the chat. He said uh he says it also shattered their archetypes of Americans and Black women. She came into that family with wealth, popularity, and accomplishments. And the two women with the hard hearts currently there had to marry into the family with absolutely nothing. And I agree. I agree. She, you made a point earlier about strong women. Um, and I'm going to tell you guys a little secret, okay, about strong women. Strong women are strong because they see something in their life, they set goals and they tell themselves that they want to attain it and they work towards it. It is not something that's easy to do at all. I've been trying to get to a certain point in my life. I continue to work on it. It's sometimes my path doesn't work out, but I still aim for it. So when you see people like her, like Megan, or I don't know how many other women in general reach the height of success, it is usually through very hard work. And it is something that does, um, it cripples a certain part or certain types of men in general that have issues with seeing strong, independent women who have a clear mindset and a direction where they want to head. But here is a secret. Here's a little secret to all the men out there that think that they need to strong arm women in order to have them under their thumbs. That is not true power. That is not true power. When you see a woman like that, look at it as an opportunity for you to grow yourself as well,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Look at it as
because
an
Harry's
opportunity.
winning.
Harry is winning. Exactly. Case in point, Harry. Harry is winning. He's free. It is an opportunity for you to grow yourself as well. It's an opportunity to have someone there who that woman, after working so hard to get to that point, is going to be 100% behind you and supporting you. That is the thing that you don't understand. As long as you give her respect, support, that communication, and the love that she needs, however which way your love language is in that relationship, that woman's going to be behind you. You will not have any issue losing
Mm-hmm.
that woman, right? That
Mm-hmm.
is a true reflection of a strong man, somebody who understands that you do not need to be threatened by someone else's success or their light, right? You look at it and you say to yourself, how can I join that person?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do.
Amen to that. Amen to that. But yeah, you mentioned the thought, and thank you so much for that. Um, agree completely. I think that's what we should all aspire to. Finding a partner that we can grow with and we uplift and uphold each other. I think we should also aspire to be excellent at a talent. And for Rahini, her talent is knitting the most amazing. Oh, oh gosh, what happened to my? Sorry, folks. Okay, sorry. Let me start again. For Rahini, my computer playing up. For Rahini, it is knitting the most amazing pieces. So she actually made me, if you don't know, a hat, which I cannot wait to wear. I'm going for a Christmas walk um, sometime in the next few weeks. I'm going to wear that. She also knitted me a bikini, which I can't wear until the summer, but I can't wait to. And she also um, made me these amazing socks. The bits you can see actually sit around the ankle, and then the rope ties are adjustable. And then I also asked because she said if I wanted anything else, I said that I wanted some key rings. So one I'm gonna put on my key ring, and the other one I'm gonna put it on my suitcase. That suitcase ain't going nowhere for a while because I'm not traveling for a while. But when I do, it will be there on my suitcase. So thank you so much, Rini. They are adorable and they are so comfortable, guys. And yes,
They
if
are
you want,
so cute. I
so
thought they were
cute.
baby socks. I thought they were baby socks. Am I wrong? What? I'm serious.
No, I'm wearing them right now. If you want Rahini to open like an Etsy store, a Rahini Squaddy Etsy store, please let us know. We can do cute things like this or custom orders. If you want that, let us know. I think people should be paid for that. And the Rahini kindly did this for me for free, and I really appreciate it because actually she messaged me about this after I talked about I opened up about that really personal issue that I did, and it just made my day. Um, so thank you so much, Rahini, and I just wanted to show everyone these because they're so
They
cute.
are, they're a set. I like how she, I'm like a girl that pays attention to detail. I noticed the little tassels where the key rings are attached, how there's more emphasis of purple and pink in the center for one versus pink on the outside and purple in the middle. It's a
Yeah,
set. So you literally can like couple this if you want
yeah.
to. I just want to say, like, that little detail, girl, nice. Very nice. It's matchy, but not too matchy.
Mm, so
Yeah.
cute, so cute, and to keep me nice and warm during the winter. All right, that's had to have us some. Okay, what else? Do you know what? I feel like we've talked for long enough. Yeah, there's nothing else that I really wanted to mention. Rahini, sorry, Lightside, was there anything else that you wanted to say? We've got another like 10
No.
minutes if you.
Yeah, no, I know you've been on quite a bit. Looks like it's going on to an hour and a half now, but I'll try to jump on another time if you do a cast in the next couple of days. I know I've been so busy, guys. Work has me like in a chokehold,
Mm,
so I've not been in chat or anything, but I do try to catch up on everything. No, I can't think of anything else. I'm gonna keep my eyes on our two faves and just wish them well wishes like everyone else here in the chat to you as well, and like just I
thank
just
you.
I want there's so many of us deal with things that we don't talk about on a day-to-day basis, and we don't necessarily know what we're all going through. So I just would
Mhm,
like for anyone that needs to hear this to know that there are people out there that really care about you and your existence in
mhm,
their lives, and you are important, you're valued, and
mhm.
and sending love. And that's all. That's how I want to
Yeah,
say right now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lightside. And yes, indeed, sending love, cookies and cream. I will end with your words. Please continue to pray for the Sussexes, each other, and the world. Amen. All right, let's dance our way out, folks. Let's dance our way out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bless you all.